In last lecture, we have studied Henry Fayol's principle of management. Henry Fayol, who is called as father of modern management. And today, I am going to teach you F.W. Taylor's scientific management theory and principles of scientific management. Taylor introduced his observations and experiments based on scientific data. Taylor's approach towards management is termed as scientific management. For this contribution in development of management thoughts, he is known as the father of scientific management. Taylor's management theory is based on scientific experiments. This theory involves the application of scientific approach to decision making and solving them at the same time. According to Taylor, problems should be solved by scientific techniques rather than the rule of thumb and a trial and error method. Taylor's management theory is based on scientific experiments. And this theory involves the application of scientific approach and decision making and solving them at the same time. According to Taylor, problems should be solved by scientific techniques rather than the rule of thumb and a trial and error approach. In 18th century, the production was affected by industrial revolution when the management people wanted to increase their production. Their ambitions were fulfilled by the invention of the concept of scientific management by F.W. Taylor in the 19th century. Taylor is the first person to find the concept of scientific management and develop it so. He is called as the father of scientific management. According to Taylor, scientific management consists of a certain philosophy of scientific selection and training of right workers for the right job, means right person for the right job, providing adequate working conditions, providing a system of monetary incentives to efficient workers, and assumptions of responsibilities by managers and supervisors. The workers are selected scientifically and training is provided to both new and existing workers. The workers are placed according to their qualifications and experience. The effective doing of any work depends upon physical working conditions, lighting, ventilation, restrooms, rest period, drinking water, canteen facilities, sanitation, and the like are some of the physical working conditions. The system of monetary incentives should motivate the workers to work well. Managers and superiors should accept responsibility for planning, scheduling, guiding, and controlling. It means that planning and execution are different functions. According to F.W. Taylor, planning and execution are different functions. F.W. Taylor defined scientific management as the substitution of exact scientific investigation and knowledge for the old individual judgment or opinion, either of the workman or the boss, in all matters relating to the work done in the establishment. F.W. Taylor firmly believed that the objective of management should be the maximum prosperity for the employer and maximum prosperity to each employee, employer as well as employee, prosperity of employer as well as employee. The prosperity for the employer means lower cost but higher returns. The prosperity for the employer means lower cost but higher returns. Maximum prosperity to the employee means fair as well as higher wages. These can be achieved through the adoption of scientific management. This can be achieved through the adoption of scientific management. Now, I am going to teach you principles of scientific management, which is explained by F.W. Taylor, who is known as father of scientific management. Our first point is science, not a rule of thumb. First point of principles of scientific management is science, not a rule of thumb. In order to increase organizational efficiency, the rule of thumb method should be substituted with the methods developed through scientific analysis of work. In order to increase organizational efficiency, the rule of thumb method should be substituted with the method developed through scientific analysis of work. It means the replacement of old method of doing work scientifically. The replacement of old method, that is thumb of rule method, is replaced doing work scientifically. Rule of thumb decisions are based on personal judgment. Rule of thumb decisions are based on personal judgment of managers. Taylor insisted upon scientific method for every small work. Taylor insisted upon scientific method for every small work. This principle is concerned with selecting the best way of performing a job. This principle means scientific method is concerned with selecting the best way of performing a job after scientific analysis of that job and not by trial and error method, means rule of thumb method. Our next point is harmony, not discord. Harmony, not discord. The relation between the management and employees should be harmonious. The relation between the management and employees should be harmonious, as proper coordination between them. As proper coordination between them will result in the achievement of organizational goals. There must be a proper coordination between employer and employees and various departments. This coordination will help in minimizing conflicts between them. Minimizing conflicts between the employer and employees. Perfect understanding between employees and management will be helpful in creating healthy work environment. Perfect understanding between employees and management or employees and employer will be helpful in creating healthy work environment for achieving the desired goals, means achieving the objectives of the organization, that is success. The aim of scientific management is to give maximum prosperity to employees and employer. The aim of scientific management is to give maximum prosperity to employees and employer, not only maximum prosperity of employer but also maximum prosperity of employees. Our third point is mental revolution. This principle requires change in the attitude of the management. This principle requires change in the attitude of the management and employees with regards to their relations. Both should realize their equal importance. Both employer and employee should realize their equal importance in organization. There are equal importance in organization, employer and employee. They should give full cooperation for achieving goal. They should means employer and employee should give full cooperation for achieving goal of organization. This mental revolution can benefit the organization in terms of increase in production. Mental revolution can benefit the organization in terms of income increase the production, increase the profit, etc. And maintaining discipline and creating a sense of belongingness among the employees. Our next point is cooperation, not individualism. cooperation, not individualism. Means what? Taylor believed in cooperation and not individualism. Taylor believed in cooperation. Cooperation between management and employees will help to achieve goals and objectives. Cooperation between management and employees will help to achieve goals and objectives of every organization. Workers should help the management to get larger profit. Workers should help the management to get larger profit, more profits, better quality products and lower cost of production. When there is a better quality products and lower cost of production, automatically our profit will increase. Management should give fair wages to workers. Management should give fair wages or salary to workers, and always consider the suggestions given by employees in decision making process. Suggestions by the employees will be considered at the time of decision making process. Mutual understanding and change in thinking are the factors necessary for cooperation. There must be a mutual understanding between employer and employees. It is very essential, it is very necessary for increasing our profitability, increasing production, etc. Our next point is division of responsibility. We know that there is a principle of management, Henry Ford's principle of management, authority and responsibility. This principle of Taylor is also related with the principle of authority and responsibility. According to Taylor's this principle, when the work is divided, there should be a proper division of responsibility, not only authority. There should be proper division of responsibility between the managers and the employees. There should be proper division of responsibility between the managers and employees. The roles of different levels of managers, that is top level management, lower level, middle level, etc., and employees should be determined properly. The role of every person, the role of every personnel, the role of every superior and subordinate should be determined properly. Major planning is done by the top and middle level management. Major planning is done by the top level and middle level management, whereas employees are concentrating on its execution. Employees are concentrating on its execution means planning is made by top level and middle level management, and execution is made by the lower level management, that is employees. Our next point is development of employer and employees for greater efficiency and maximum prosperity. Development of employer and employees for greater efficiency and maximum prosperity. The aim of scientific management is maximum prosperity. The aim of scientific management is to give maximum prosperity of organization as well as maximum prosperity of employee also. The maximum prosperity to employees and employer is must. Best performance of any organization always depends on the skills and capabilities of its employees. The best performance of any organization always depends on the skills and capabilities of its employees, employees' experience, employees' thinking capacity, etc. to great extent. Thus, providing training and development programs to the employees, whenever required is very essential. There may be training and development programs is very essential. When it is required, it must be provided by top level management or middle level management. It ultimately affects the profitability of the organization. When there is a training program and development programs for the employees efficiency will be increased, and when employee efficiency is increased, automatically there is progress of organization, there must be a progress of organization. It is affected profitability of the organization positively. Each employee should be given proper authority. Each employee should be given proper authority to attain greater efficiency. There must be proper balance between authority and responsibility, and each employee should be given proper authority, proper opportunity also to attain greater efficiency and maximum prosperity. When employees get proper opportunity to attain greater efficiency, ultimately there will be a maximum prosperity of every organization. Profit increases, automatically it will increase the efficiency of